Well, the group of people here were all dealers with Exxon. Exxon actually physically owned the property, and we leased the property from Exxon. We were independent businesses, and we purchased our gasoline from Exxon. They distributed directly to us. Our businesses really had a great worth at that time because anybody would like to have come in and dealt with the relationship we had with Exxon. That all changed when Exxon decided to diverse their properties and sell to jobbers or retail distributors. However, they're pretty synonymous, the two names. The distributor that purchased 170 dealers in the state of Maryland and Delaware and more in Virginia, we all were transferred from an Exxon distributed direct serve to a jobber served market. And now the jobber is, I think, possibly manipulating prices. We have never, in 20-some years of dealing with Exxon, and I don't have 20 years, but I have 10 years, and I think we can go through the group that's here. Some of them have over 20 years of record with Exxon, have never seen a fluctuation in prices from day to day as we have seen very recently. All of us follow the market. We look at Bloomberg, we look at what gas prices are with Opus, and we've never seen the changes that have happened such in the last, I'm going to tell you, 2 or 3 months.
Now what it is, before we were buying directly from Exxon at a certain, now we have a middleman who's making his bucks, and he's not fair,
And he's
he's gouging the prices, simple as that, bottom line.
We are required by law to purchase from only one person, and that person dictates what price we pay.
20 years contract we have to sign with them to buy it from them. As long as you have Exxon name, you cannot sell any other gas.
On Monday evening, when we check up our email, we noticed we got 21.5 cents increase per gallon.
In price.
In price. But none of our competitor moved a penny except our jobber, move on us. A lot of, email went back and forth. The next day, which is Tuesday, after screaming and hollering, we got 8 cents decrease. The screaming yelling was getting louder. On a Wednesday, we got another 10 cents decrease. Looks like it was not enough. On a Thursday night, which is last night, we got another 4.5 cents decrease.
We say, well, they're controlling us. The reason they're controlling us is because they have access to our tanks. So they know when we're low, when we have enough gas, when we don't have enough gas. In the old days, we'd call up and say, I need a load by such and such. They took that ability away from us because it makes sense to them to say, okay, you know what, let's run them down, increase the price, make a delivery, lower the price. So it looks like if someone would actually look at their paper, they'd say, well, yeah, they did go up 21 cents today, but the day after they went by 10 cents, the day after they went by 11 cents, and the day after they went by 4 cents. Well, I still have the 22.5 cent increase in my tanks. And there's no guarantee at the end of that 3 days I'm going to ever see that decrease. More than likely, we all know that we're going to get we all know this because it's been happening on a regular basis. When it's time for my delivery, I get an increase. I should be able to call in my order because some of our tanks get filled to the rim when the price is high. It's not necessary because if they fill my tank up, I would have gas. The way we're selling now, if they fill our tanks up, we would have gas for over 20 days.
No, first of all, if they fill our tanks up, we will be out of business.
Bankrupt. And that's why they don't. And some dealers, they know that we're in a crisis, so they won't fill it up. They'll fill it up because they have access to our account too, where they reach in and grab their money. So it's like they're monopolizing from A to Z. There's no way for us to win.
And if you refuse the load, you said, I do not want this load, I have enough in the ground to sell it for that price, they will penalize you for $500.
Fewer and fewer are saying anything because fewer and fewer are actually coming through the doors.
But the ones that do come in, it's like, well, you're getting rich off of our blood. And it's like, I'm not. and they don't see that. They see the Exxon brand, this Exxon station. So I'm part of that $11 billion that they showed last quarter. And none of that statement is true. I own nothing here. I'm basically a manager that doesn't have to work for my pay, and if it doesn't come, well, tough. If I have to go get it from my savings, they're like, well, go get it from your savings.
2008, the barrel of oil reached $145, and the price was almost about $4.29, something like that.
Well, this
But it was
is higher than then.
Now the barrel of oil is about $100. I don't know. It went up yesterday. I don't know how much, but it's
98
about
something yesterday.
Yeah, $100.
basically it's $100. What excuse these jobbers, oil companies, they do have, which they raise it up like this. We like to blame it other countries for this, but
$50 a barrel is less.
Is less.
It should be, basically, if you take that into theory, it should be a third less than what we were paying back in 08.
And I just have to ask the question, why can't we start using our own resources within our own country and pay Americans instead of paying somebody that hates us? Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'd rather see the money stay within the United States, continental United States, and let us explore safely within our own area.
What we'd like to see from this is for the state to step in and look at their profitability, see what they're doing and how they're operating their businesses. Because if we've lost 60 to 70% of our business in the past year, I mean, if this is a trend and everybody follows suit, the only person that's going to be hurting is the American people, the people that need the gas. The oil companies are getting richer by day, the jobbers are getting richer by day, but the consumer that's lost their job, that has to pull up, blaming us for the price that they're paying is just not fair to them or us. If we were to go to Free State, out of their pumps, and put that gas in our tank, we would have a healthier margin than we do buying from our distributor, which is the wholesale price.
I have a Shell station.
That's how terrible it is.
I am selling there at $3.93 a gallon, retail, on the board. And here my cost is much higher than what I am selling there. And of course I'm not losing money there if I am retailing at $3.93 a gallon.
The number one paid person on that posted price is the state of Maryland at 23.5 cents a gallon. Then comes the federal government at 18.9 cents per gallon. Next is the credit card companies. If you use a credit card, it's over 9 cents per gallon. That's counting your transaction fee and your percentage that they charge you to use a credit card. I'm not exactly sure what the jobber's making, but I can honestly tell you, honestly tell you that just on my Rack Plus deal, that he makes more money than I do on gross profit right off of the top. The fuel business is inverted. It is a totally opposite deal than what a typical market is for wholesale distribution.
I don't think any of us can compare. When was the last time you took a paycheck from
My choice has been not to lay off an employee.
That's what we've done too. Because we've had the people we've had here for...
But the bottom line is, how long can we do that? Like you can withdraw, okay, 1 month, 2,000 from the savings. Next month, another $1,000, then 500.
Since we've had this jobber come in, we're doing a third of what we used to do in volume. A third, because they've pretty much killed our business.
60% down.
He's 60% down. Since the jobber...
Since they took over.
Since they took over, which is
last June? From Exxon.
From Exxon. Which people don't realize,
June 23rd.
that's how much the Exxon dealers out here are hurting. And to be honest with you, I think if I take a consensus here, we're all waiting to weather the storm, but we've gotten to the point where we realize this isn't ending. It's actually getting worse by worse every day that we're going forward.
But we told the state of Maryland that we felt that if a jobber, and we did not know who it would be, would come in and purchase all the properties, all the Exxon stations in Maryland, they would have total control over the state, and the independent dealer that I think independent dealers breed good competitiveness. You look at prices back and forth and we try to get close. We don't have that opportunity now. We cannot control any of the pricing that's posted on the street. We have to make a profit to be able to pay the rents or to pay the bank notes for those of us that bought, and we have to make a profit to pay our employees. I've got 10 employees up there at Myersville, and you know, who do you tell that you don't need this week because you're not doing the business because of somebody else controlling your gas price? Which employee do you pick and say you don't have a job anymore tomorrow morning? That's the hard part for a dealer.